Hello guys, Houston here. I hope you guys are doing well, having a great day or a great night. And before jumping into the charts, don't forget to smash the like button, share it for friends, and subscribe as well. Don't forget, we are exchanging here my knowledge for your time. And sometimes I spend 30, 40, 1 hour making videos, and it only takes 1 second of your time to show some appreciation. So thanks in advance, and let's go. So a few things before we start here. This video is a update, continuation of the previous video, which was called Two Steps from Moon. And if you guys remember, I explained it back in the day. The first step, what is? The pattern structure that will give us technical evidence. And the second one is the trial, the outcome from the trial. And so far, we don't have any of those. But I believe we are going to have soon. But we are talking about probably weeks. Yes, not days. Okay. So let's first. So this is going to be a 2 sections video. The first one, I will use the typical analysis that I do on every video, which is also the one I use to trade and also to invest. And the other one is going to be that 1% which I add into my perspective, to look for further evidence and more details and etc. So this can be a long video, and if you guys can't watch it, you at least you can do this in, like, let's say 2 sessions. So let's start. First thing, we have power candles, which is looking great. We already talked about this. There is nothing new. It's all the way bullish. So the last candle right here, it's not a bearish candle. Why? Because we are in the early stages of a bull break. So it's normal to have such a behavior. So there is nothing special so far. So let's keep going. Let's jump into the weekly. Yesterday we had the morning star here, but again, all these possible bearish candles are not a big deal. Okay, not for now. It's likely to have some indecision in the way, especially if we are talking about weeks, which I believe we are accurate. We have been in the past. So I strongly believe it's more tied to multiple weeks. Let's also take a look on volume. So we have decreasing volume, which is not great, but we know we are entering into a period without volatility, and this is key to have a better understanding of what will be developed, what can happen. Actually, not what can happen, how this is going to happen. That's the proper way. So it's not bad. Okay. Let's take a look also on OBV. Yes, because we have a big time bullish divergence here, which is actually, sorry. Sorry, this is not a bullish divergence, not on the weekly. If I'm not wrong, it's on lower time frames. As we can see, we don't need to look at OBV to find it. Okay, so let's draw a line here to acknowledge volume. As we can see, it goes in the other way. Okay, so far this is not bearish. I would say neutral. Okay, because again, so we are in the early stages, and we must look for this nest pattern, the one that is played out right now, to have a better understanding. And let's take a deeper look. Volume again. So as you guys can see, since the previous bull break, excuse me, the one from here, we had some volume, but not all that volume, all that craziness, volatility. No, it's not even close. So I strongly believe things are easing off, before the big one. Yes, I bet my shoes that's exactly how this is going to happen. So now let's take a look on OBV. Not a big deal. So here we have somewhat a bearish divergence, but again, it's volume data against continuation patterns, which so far one is being developed, and this is very key to have it understanding, because it is not the thing that will drive price. First price, then volume. It's the same with the dominance. Dominance doesn't move first. Price move first, and then we are going to see a reflection on dominance. And the same thing here, it is true. So for example, how we could have such a move up, a big one, with little volume? You see? That's the same thing here. So let's keep going. Let's jump into the daily. Oh, so here is the great thing. Let me show you. Okay, so let's start from here. From here to here. So we have decreasing volume, which means buyers and sellers volume. It's not because we can look at the predominant ones and say, oh, the buyers volume are decreasing. Okay, but so is the seller's volume decreasing as well. And the thing here is, this isn't two forces right now. Okay, we have a single one in control, and this one is dictating the rules, how this is going to unfold, how this moves, So another interesting thing here, do you guys remember the magic hour? Let's take let's take a look again. Okay, so here is when we have a change on OBV. Okay, so for example, when we look here, we don't have any of that possible bearish divergence and stuff. We have a great bullish divergence here, so it's different, right? It's kind of weird, but let's take a look. So this is the previous high of the previous structure, which is this guy right here. And here we have what? The bullish divergence, which is this guy right here. Another interesting thing, so right now we have a $5+ billion on Bitstamp only, okay, so US dollar. And back in the day when I started talking about this, we had like 2 or less than 2 and 5, I don't remember. So, and we've been talking about, volume precedes price, volume precedes price. And it's playing out so far in a beautiful, beautiful way. Sometimes people criticize, but only because they are not aware of all my previous tweets and previous videos. So the whole thing looks like a book. And another thing, so why I don't keep making videos over and over and over? Because it's not necessary. Things are moving, are developing in a beautiful way. So a single update is enough, because nothing changed. And we are not looking, for example, I would say trade, but it could be investing. I'm not looking to make any moves here, because the thing goes up, goes down, and then goes up and goes down, and then people end up being right, wrong, right, wrong, wrong, right. So it's pointless, The same thing is true for multiple videos over and over and over. And basically most people out there who keeps making videos non-stop, it's because they have no real money in the table. They are not participating. So they can keep making happy videos over and over, won't make any difference if they are right, they are wrong. So yeah, so just a few insights here. Now let's jump into the 4. Let's take a look at it, which is where the magic is happening. You guys remember the magic hour, 5 in the morning? It's still happening. Still, I made a live stream on the Champions the club, yesterday, and we talked about it as well. So it keeps happening. So this is significant to have what? A better understanding before the big one, which I bet my shoes before the main bull break. We are possibly going to see it happening around that time clock. Okay, that's my 2 cents for now about this. You guys can check. You just have to. You can even lower the time frame and take a look for yourself. There, everything's here. Now let's take a look on. Oops, just a second. On OBV. So here on OBV, as we can see, we have a micro bullish divergence. But doesn't mean if it's micro or not. It's looking great. It's looking fantastic. It shows, I will say buyers, but it's actually not buyers because the average Joe can't move the market. Okay, so the market will, or the asset, whatever, will follow its own direction. The average Joe buying or not, and this is a very key thing that most people still can't understand. So assets, trends are made by who? By institutions. They lead the thing. They make the calls. They make the moves. That's it. The average Joe just keep shaking inside a train, and yeah, that's it. So, and another interesting thing here, it's so for example, when people like Pomp, they talk about Bitcoin, with things that are absurd. So, for example, oh, Bitcoin is going to bring down banks and etc. and this and that. But what they don't know and can understand is that Bitcoin action, Bitcoin price appreciation have big banks behind it. You see, so folks keep complaining about banks, but even though they need the banks to cash out, right? Without the banks, there is no, the thing's not going to work. And the main idea about Bitcoin, it's a medium of exchange, but it doesn't work as a medium of exchange. So Satoshi would be very not happy, about this, and that's a thing those folks never acknowledge. So the whole thing around is a joke. Yes. But so let's keep going. My 2 cents, and don't understand me bad here. Uh, I do support Bitcoin, but not on the current stage, you know, because they are just sucking value from Bitcoin and they really don't care about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is not the guilt guy here. It's what they are doing with Bitcoin that is the problem. But soon, very soon, this is going to change. And Bitcoin are going to have a great time in the future, but it's not going to be today, tomorrow, or next week. So back to XRP, this is looking fantastic. It's great. They are in control. The bulls are in control. So it's fantastic. And now let's take a closer look following the previous video, 2 steps from Moon. If you guys remember, we were around here, if I'm not wrong, here. And I talked about the first possible breach, which was not a breach at all, just a bears doing their stuff, which is healthy. We need the bears. They are our friends, not our enemies. And we must understand both sides to have, a better idea how things work. And the key stuff about, corrections, health corrections, etc., etc. So I talked about such a move like this. But this wasn't enough, and I'm going to share more to you right now. So so let's start from the first, because we have a three-way structure here, and then we are going to have a deeper look on it before moving on. So here we had a micro, very tight and small. Let me show you. Possible bullish continuation pattern right here. So they were trying, or at least some people tried to make another push. But unfortunately, it wasn't the time, which by the end of the day, it's a win-win situation for us, okay? Because what we want, it's big and clear scenarios, not small scenarios and complicated scenarios, okay? So they let it go here. Then we went down, and then we had a full bear here, bearish pattern, bearish behavior. And then we had the lower section of this pattern, which I'm going to show you right now. I don't remember if I shared this on Twitter. I don't remember now, folks. I shared this on the Champions Club for sure, but I don't remember on Twitter. I probably talk about this with a guy who was looking at this pattern like this. Exactly like this. Like this. And we know this is not the proper way to do this. That's not the correct approach. But you know, we try to help, but it doesn't work. People don't care. They won't listen. And that's it. Because by the end of the day, everybody knows what they are doing, right? So we had a straight and clear falling wedge, which played out beautifully. We jumped in with a long, if I'm not wrong, if right here. I don't remember exactly where it was. So we went a bit up, then a bit down, and then followed the desired and the direction we call it. So what now? That's the question. Always the question. What now? What is going to happen? What about the direction? What is going on? What we can do? So let's take another close look, because we are moving along following the development. So as you guys can see, this is not over yet. It's not fully developed, and probably it's not moon from here. Okay, so this is my 2 cents. It is not clear. We don't have technical evidence and nothing clear so far. But the direction things are going, it's looking fantastic. And I'm going to show you something else here. Then it is going to help you to have a better understanding as well. And there is another thing. So let me show you before we go on. So let's start from here, just for you guys to have a better understanding. So what we have here? We had a micro bullish continuation pattern, and then we ascended, right? Then what we had again? Another micro bullish continuation pattern. And then what we had? Another micro bullish continuation attempt, right? Because they failed. But it's also interesting to see the three-step approach, which is correlated with Elliott theory, which is fantastic. So back in the day, I shared that I had an expectation around 250, because it would give us a much better scenario than what we have here. It doesn't mean this one is bad. No, not at all. This is fantastic. It's looking amazing, you know. But so So a thing that I want to show you here for you guys to have a better understanding, it's like this. So how the average Joe look into charts or into other people analysis or price behavior? When we are talking about continuation, bullish scenario, the thing will go up or the thing will go down. Things take time to develop and happen, right? But those people, how they look at it? They look at the markets like this. Bottom, moon, and that's it. From moon to bottom, and that's it. This is how they look at charts and technical analysis or from other people and etc. But how we look at the charts, price price action, the trend, and etc. We look at patterns, which are joints, because nothing goes down or up forever and not even in a straight line. So this is how trends work. Not so aggressive like this, like a ladder, but that's the way. That's the proper way to look at it. Yeah, so there's another thing here. Take note about this because nobody out there is going to teach you this, and you are not going to find this out there as well. So this is a micro pattern, right? Also this one and also this one. So what do we have here? I mean the plus to have a better understanding. So let's take a look at it. Just a second, let's acknowledge this as this. So this is a small structure, right? So the first thing we can see, it's of course its price, and then that's the key thing, which is time. Exactly. Time is part of almost everything here, almost everything. So now let me show you here on the right a scale for you guys to have a better idea. So this probably could be considered a bull flag. Not a crystal clear one, but let's go for it. Not going to be a big deal, not a big difference. So we have a axis. Let's make a model here. The first one stands for time, which is this one right here, from the top to the lower section. So let me use, let's the line here. Oh, no, here. So here we have time. And here we have price or price action or whatever, or even the numbers. You can use just say numbers. So what is this line that stands for time? Let's take a look, right? That's a small line, right? Which means this pattern would short live. It is not clear, okay? There is not a full setup here. It's not like so the bigger ones are easier to call. The smaller ones are tricky because the valid pivots are so close to each other that makes the thing hard to trade or to make a call. And so what do we have here? We have another even smaller line, right? And then here we had a somewhat a little bigger line. And so if we let me see if I can do this. So if we take the line and drag here, we can have an understanding about how long this can take to develop it. Okay, so now that you guys know it, have a better understanding about this, let me give you a much better example that is going to change your perception about price action, behavior, time frame of events, etc., etc. Just a second, please. So if you guys remember, back in the day, I made a video just before the bull break, which was, I called this one out, which was right here. You guys remember? Also, we were trading. So this is a full pattern, okay? Fully developed. What did we had here? Take a look on the size. And now let's take a look on the size of this one right here. So which one needed more time to play out? The bigger one or the smaller one? Of course, the bigger one. So it started on February 15, and before the bull break, it was February. Yes, February and November. So almost not eight, so February, almost 10 months or close to 10 months, folks. And back in the day, some folks were saying, well, this is it, it's moon, the bottom is in, it's over, you know, the thing's going, whatever. But the thing is, they were calling for moon way, way before, a long, long time ago, so it was more of the same. And one of the things that I said back in the day, why they were wrong, not on the moon call, because at some point they would end up right. Until we have a full structure developed, we can't call the direction because we fall into guessworks. It's like 50-50, you know? So we were waiting for this. So there is no such a thing as confirmation or, you know, the 100%. You know, there's no such a thing. What we do, we gather evidence, technical evidence, and more insight that will lead us to have a better understanding, right? And now let's move into the next one to see if what I showed you, it's accurate or not. Oh, and by the way, another thing. uh, take note of this. I'm telling you this because this happened over and over and over, and the people never gave credit. It's mind-blowing stuff. It's incredible. So soon, very soon, the Ishimoku Cloud approach on XRP will be very, very popular. It will give ammo to all those folks out there to make videos on top of videos, and they will be always talking about the same thing without a clue. But even if they use my approach, they are not going to give credits. Okay, so take notes about this, and soon, very soon, we will be talking about this. So again, we had another full developed pattern here. And let's take a look. From November 20 all the way to April 21. So almost 6 months, close to 6 months, very close. So in this one here was sorry folks, it started on April 6th and it broke on April 10. So this is a perfect case when we have technical evidence, you know. So if you want, please go back in this video, watch the video again, take notes, make some draws, do your research, and yeah. So now you understand the axis of things. And this is going to change our perspective and also increase your knowledge when we talk about price action structures, possible outcomes, and etc. So now back to the 4 hours and what we may expect. So we know right now it's fair to say, because we have two valid pivots, two strong ones right here. So what is a pivot? This behavior. That's two valid pivots. But as you guys can see, the pivots, they happen back and forth all the time. Sometimes they can be validated, other times they can't. So that's why we try to avoid the ones who are not clear, because you can jump into, let's say, a trade, or you are adding more coins to your long-term investment, whatever, and you jump into a scenario that is a shake, it goes up, it goes down, up and down before a resolution, and this can drive you crazy, right? It's probably, the explanation is probably because you jumped in too early or too late, okay? So we understand we have a big one here, but it's not so big as the two previous one that we had back in the day. And by the way, both structures have the same fundamentals, which is a bottom reversal structure. If you guys saw my XRP technical analysis video number 5 back in the day, I believe we talked about this. If it was not on the 5, it was on XRP versus gold. There is a lot of hidden gems there, and yeah, I believe we talked about how could be the XRP reversal based on what we had on gold back in the day. And the incredible thing is that the reversal structure and the bull break almost happened in the same way, because you guys remember, and another very interesting thing, very interesting. So let's be honest and fair, okay? We all got frustrated on the trial and the dump. All of us frustrated. But what some folks did back in the day, oh guys, I will take a break from XRP and XRP analysis, that's it for me now. You guys know who did this. But what I did, so I'm not comparing me and the other guy. I'm talking about what we did. So what I did back in the day, you guys can also go back and take a look in the video. I said this could be the price protection theory, and these end up as a fact, not a theory. Why? Because right after we played out the bullish continuation structure, just like the previous one. So if we take one and the other, just like in math, it's the rule of 9, if I'm not wrong. If we exclude, let's say, so this was the not a pump, this is a bull break, okay, following the trend. The trend is my friend, you guys know the drill. So let's say we stop it right here, and we didn't had the trial event, okay? So it is fair. Okay, so this is not speculation, this is not a joke. This is fair to say we could exclude or delete all this price action and just make it from, let's see, the best way I can do this for you guys to have a better understanding. So let's acknowledge the bull break to make this easier. So this was the bull break. So let's draw a line here and make the connection here. And the bullish continuation again right here. So can you guys see it's the same thing. If you guys remember, long ago, before the trial and before the pump itself, we've been talking about the possible targets for this bull break because we had validated targets based on math. That's it. Targets came from math, not from woodworks or guessworks, just like all these kids are doing, you know. Oh, it's 13. No, sir, it's 61. Oh, no, you know, I have a target at 10, but we can reach 300. So what the heck is this? So this is not technical analysis. This guys works out of the wood, you know. But yeah, so as you guys can see, the whole thing haven't changed by a penny, you know. So let's go back here. Now let's take a look first thing on Fibonacci. Yes. Oh, again, another thing, just a second. That's not what I want to use. Oh, there was another thing that we talked about back in the day. If you guys remember, it was something like this. Just give me a second, please. There's a lot of information here. A lot. Houston, yes, yes, yes. So I made a draw. So just a second, it's lagging. Okay. We've been talking about possible scenarios and possible time frame of events. You guys remember this? So this was another possible scenario and goes on and on and on. I also talked about that the 89 cents would be the Iron Throne. You guys remember this? And I said that 85 would be bad. Anything about 89 would be great. And XRP stopped right at 91,500, which was fantastic. So now let's, knowing this, have this in mind, let's jump into Fibonacci, and then we are going to talk about possible time frame of events. So this is a 37 minutes already. Second. So as we understand, as we know, so this is a aggressive and fantastic retrace. It's below 80%. It's looking great so far. So XRP made this extraordinary move here. It may not appears for people who are not familiar with price action, but this is fantastic. Even if it stop here, you know, just stop here and let it go. It's all the way bullish, all the way. So let me see. Okay, so knowing this, as you guys can see, we only have two valid pivots, only two. So it's young, it's on the early stages, it's developing, it's still inside, as you guys can see. So this is inside action, which means there is no bull nor bear break. And anyone calling for $2, oh, you know, if XRP don't go to $2 tomorrow, I'm going to give you $100. This is stupidity. It's not technical analysis. But yeah. So I can't give you a technical perspective right now because the thing is developing. You know, it's growing up. It's happening. It's not over. It's not like the previous ones. So right now, what we do, we talk about what we have and what possibly can happen. So this is healthy speculation. We talk about multiple and possible scenarios. This way we don't end up in a surprise scenario, you know. So now let's take a look on possible time frame of events. You guys remember we've been talking about a possible scenario for late May. By the way, it's here is 3 o'clock. In the United States, if I'm not wrong, it's 2 o'clock. So the session probably started, oh, it's not going to happen today, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. Oh, another thing about the trial session is this. When someone is about to give up, they don't ask for help. They don't contract people to help them. They just give up. So this is one of the reasons I believe the SEC is not giving up right now, okay? And I also believe this is tied with the coming regulations. Yes, I strongly believe there is a agenda and everything is moving to match that agenda. And yeah, so it is fair to acknowledge this as a possible time frame of events. Yes, and today is even better than it was back in the day because we had very little action and a small, tiny structure. But right now we have something better. We have more candles. We have a better perspective, a better understanding as well about direction. And when I say this, it's based on what? From here. So let's acknowledge the whole thing. There is only 3 possible outcomes. Going up from here, which would be bearish in my opinion now, if it is not a moon move, okay? If it's something like this, bang, $20, okay, amazing. But if we go up like this, chop, 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 then we are going to end up with a bearish outcome, which the bulls know this, also the market makers. That's one of the reasons it's very unlikely to happen. The other direction is the one that we are expecting, and the other possible direction, it's a bear break, which is very unlikely. There is no evidence that can possibly tell that this can happen. And so, if the SEC is not giving up, we go back into sideways development, which is the proper way from here. And the chances for a bear break or bearish development is almost zero, close to zero. And when we talk about patterns into these directions, we are talking at least 18 or 24 possible scenarios, okay? So that's why we say there is nothing clear yet. There is no way to call this or to make a forecast or whatever. That's why we talk about possible scenarios based on what we have only. So imagine this. 18 or 24 possible scenarios. I am going to look at the one that looks more close to reality, the one that is more closer to what we are looking at. That's the proper approach, the best way to look at it. Now back to the time frame, 43 minutes already. So do we have room to enter June following development here? Yes, we have. This will be the second week of June. But I don't believe we are going to have room for July. As you guys can see, July is right here. It would be overextended. It is possible, yes, but somewhat unlikely. Nothing can go up, down, or sideways forever. Just a second, folks, please. Okay, let's go. So, in my humble opinion, this is my perception, my 2 cents, my feeling. I strongly believe we will keep going till late. I believe late May is too close. Okay, it's possible, yes, but it's somewhat a bit close. So today I will be looking into the first week, maybe the 2nd of June. Yes, it can go a bit more. Yes, it is possible. Okay, but all of this, it's not important now. It's just for us to have a idea, a perception. It's like a sixth sense, you know. So all this being said, for now, this is it. Okay, so I believe XRP will go down a little bit and then go up a little bit before the big one. And the next one, it's very, very likely to be the last step from moon. I strongly believe. Looking into patterns here, I don't like to mix patterns. I don't like, but probably it's something that I have to improve. Okay, but yeah. So let's see, what are the chances for this to be a ascending channel or a maybe a rising wedge? You see? So there is two different approaches when we mix structures, and both are correct. So it's hard, to make a proper call. Of course, I'm not going to short XRP here. I have longs open, so I don't want to contaminate my sentiment with even a small bear move. The risk reward is not great, so it's kind of the risk I don't want to take right now. So that's why I'm going to wait. Okay, so this is a possible scenario just like the other one that we just talked about. And also, so another thing, so I'm not expecting a bullish outcome from the session, the trial session today. And also one of the reasons why we can see here in the chart that XRP right now doesn't look ready. So can you guys see the correlation of things? The chart is always the leading indicator, no matter what. Things happens in the chart first, okay? But yeah, so now the thing that I want to show you, so this is going to be our second session about this video, and that's the thing that I told you guys, that soon Ichimoku will become popular on XRP, and kids will be talking about this, making videos back and forth over and over. And yeah, so just a second, please. For people who are not used to technical analysis, this can be overwhelming for them, okay? So the best approach here, it's like this. Let's say you have something very complex and you have to explain to a kid, to a child. And what approach we must use? The most easy and simple as possible. That's the way, And we know that when it comes down to technical analysis, trading, etc., less is more and more is less. So always we have to make things as simple as possible. So at first, you are going to see something overwhelming. But right after, I will break in a very, very simple way. And then you guys will have a much better understanding about direction, okay? So I don't use any indicator, oscillator in my analysis. I never use. Sometimes I use OBV, but it's just 1% to have an idea, because as you guys could see, we can just use volume or even look at the candles, price action, and then we have the understanding. That's one of the reasons I don't use those tools. And so the Ishimoku, for me, it's that 1% thing that I like to take a look, to say, oh, okay, so it's looking great. Oh, okay, so we have been right on our analysis, and etc. Back in the day, long, long ago, I was trying to work only with Ishimoku to trade. But unfortunately, in my humble opinion, it's not kind of a big deal to trade, okay? Because you need a clear trend and a clear direction to make easy trades, okay? So, which is something that it's not always there, always clear. But this is my 2 cents. So I only use Ishimoku for long-term analysis, and to get more, you know, a little more information, but this is only 1% for me, okay? And this was a long time ago. And yeah, so let's go. First, I'm going to bring the fan, and then we are going to jump into multiple time frames, and then I'm going to go back and give you insights that nobody are going to give you, okay? Or maybe someone else. We never can say never, right? It's not fair, but yeah. So let's start on the monthly. Bring Ishimoku, please. So just focus on the picture, okay? I will go down, down, and down, and down, then I will come back and explain. So just focus on the fan. Now we go back into the monthly, and I am going to talk about this, and then I'm going to give you a model, to show to you a model. So here we are below, or not below, we are inside the cloud. That's what people call like a resistance or a key level, and etc. But now let's take a look on the weekly. Well, there is something different here, right? So on the monthly, we are below the cloud. And here on the weekly, we are above the cloud. Now let's go into the 3 days. As well, we are above it. And now into the 1 day, also above it. Now let me explain something to you, break another thing. This line right here, which is a lag indicator. Okay, so this, as we can see, it's like how price developed. It's the same thing, just lagging. So this line, it's called the trend line. The trend line because it follows or indicate the trend. Now, and every time, so let me break this down to you. So every time the line it's below the cloud, it's a bearish trend. And every time it is above, it's a bullish trend. Of course, we have to take a look on multiple time frames to have like a better confirmation. So for example, if you look on the monthly, the weekly, the 3 days, 1 day, 4, 1, 15, etc., and it is just like this, it's a bullish trend. And when we look in the thing, it's like this on every time frame, it's a bearish trend. Okay, so you guys, just for the sake of this example, you guys can go into the Palladium against USD, draw your Ishimoku, and you will have a much better insight into this. So let me clear this. Okay, so now let's jump into the weekly. And where the trend line is, as we can see, the trend line, it's above, outside, it broke from the cloud. Can you guys see? So it's above. So on the weekly, XRP already had its reversal, its bottom reversal structure. Do you guys remember all the times we talked about this and we were corrected? So this was my call back in the day. This was the first structure. This was the second structure. And now let's take a look on Ishimoku. So the first one and then the bull break. Then we had the trial. We went down and I said back in the day, this sell-off, this event haven't changed XRP reversal. It didn't hurt the trend, the direction, not even the outcome from the previous structure. And we were right. So Now let's go into the 3 days. Oh, and by the way, the blue and the red line, they are like moving averages. Okay, so that's it. There are multiple strategies here, but I really don't like it. We can do this without Ishimoku. That's the point, you know. But so, here on the 3 days, we have the same stuff. We have the trend line, and this was the trial event. But the trend line is still above the cloud. And take a look at this. Lower section, higher low, higher low, higher low. This, folks, is the continuation of a bullish trend, which is made by higher highs and higher lows, which means high, 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 low, high, 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 low, high, 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 low. Bullish trend, you see? So now let me show you the model, how it works, so you guys can have a better understanding about the perspective. So this thing that you guys are going to see here is what I call the prisma. Some of you guys are familiar with it, others not. Probably Barbie Kid is going to copy this stuff. Okay, so let's say this range right here is this range right here, the cloud itself. Okay, so here we have the macro, and here we have the micro. Okay, so this is, let's say this guy here, the first one is the monthly, which is right at it. So let's make this bigger for a better understanding. The weekly, it's above. We just saw it, right? So the cloud's below, and the trend line and price itself, it's above the cloud. So we crossed the cloud, and also we have a positive trend line. And now the other time frames, we have bullish continuation in a bullish trend. So this is a easier way to take a look on the macro perspective about especially XRP, because XRP just had a bottom reversal. And that's the point we are looking for, right? That point that people say, whoa, just buy low and sell high, you know? That's never what they do, but that's the point of this. And now let's jump into the weekly. And now let's talk about this. So here is the bull break. We are outside the cloud, right? But take a look here. All this period of time, XRP was trading inside and below the cloud till the big day. And take a look on the trend line. It's far, far away the cloud itself. And what do we have now? Since the glorious day, and by the way, take a look at this. If I'm not wrong, it's the lead line. Let me take a look here. I don't remember the name of all the things. It's been so long. It's not the conversion line. The blue, yeah, it's the conversion line and the baseline. That's the two of them. So the behavior, it's very similar. So though this is not about the cycle thing. Oh, because this happened in the past, it is going to happen in the future. No, there is no such a thing. But it's very interesting to see. So this is the bridge, the conversion, and the baseline. This is the bridge, the conversion, and the baseline. Very close to each other. And since that day, XRP was trading inside its own bull break, just like here. Take a look. This is the bull break. XRP was trading inside. This is the bull break. XRP was trading inside. What is this? Okay, so, oh, just a second, folks, please. So, again, back in the day, trading inside and below, then we had the bull break and the positive bullish trend for the trend line. And so price went up. Here we had almost the same scenario. XRP trading inside and below the cloud. The trend line was below the cloud, just like we talked about. Till the day we called for the bull break and the bottom reversal, while folks were saying, oh, you know, if XRP don't reach 50 cents, we had the resistance, and then XRP is going down to 6 cents, 10 cents, because we have a support there. Would, you know, guess works. That doesn't work. And yeah, so XRP had the bull break. The two can be considered one. We just talked about this. We are above the cloud, and the trend line is also above the clouds, which gives us information that this is a bullish trend. This is it's a bull market continuation. We never had a bear market for XRP. Never. And long ago I talked about this. Okay? Oh, and by the way, you guys tell me if the 13 target seems accurate. Not even close. Not even close. XRP, after some time, will be much, will reach a much higher level. And you guys can bet on it. Don't take my word for it. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm only sharing my 2 cents here. But yeah. So folks, I believe this is it for now. Okay, I believe we talked about a lot of things. And by the way, I still don't understand why those kids, they never acknowledge the fundamental events and things into price, because the technical and the fundamentals are together. They move together. Sorry, they are friends. You know, they have a relationship. And this is one of the reasons why the $13 gang and the guys looking for targets, calling targets without, you know, out of the guessworks, they are going to fail and fail again and again and again and again. Why? Because they are not changing their approach into something real, right? It's all based on fantasy, you know. But yeah, so folks, it's a 1 hour long video. It shouldn't be so long. But again, thanks for your time, thanks for your patience, thanks for your support. And please don't forget to show your appreciation. This way we can grow together, right? So I'm sharing my time with you guys. You can share your time to just push the love button. It won't cost you, you know, your finger or your whole day, just a second. And so let's exchange. It's helpful, right? There is no free lunch out there. We know it. So again, thank you very much. I appreciate all your support. And let's share this video, right? Let's try to reach as much people as possible. So those people who are looking for something, or to learn or to have a better understanding, they don't fall into the bullshit out there. Okay, so again, folks, thank you very much. Stay safe, and always remember, never forget to help people in need. Never, ever. Okay, we are blessed to bless others. This is the way, the continuation of things. Okay, so that's it for now. If something new happens, if something changes, I will come back and make another video. But so far, that's it. It's looking fantastic. And I believe we still have some time ahead before the big day. Okay? So that's it for now. I will see you guys soon, and thanks again, and see ya.